Let's talk about when things go wrong. I mean, really wrong. A disaster at work, a huge system failure. What's our first instinct? It's to find out who messed up. We slap a label on it, human error, and we move on. But what if that label, that rush to blame, is actually the real mistake here? What if blaming a person is just the easy way out? Let's get into it.
Okay, so first, I want you to meet Frank. Now, Frank's not a real person, but his story, it's happening all the time in workplaces everywhere. He's that guy, the one who shows up early, stays late, knows the job inside and out. 15 years he's given to this company. He's a total pro.
But tonight is different. He has just pulled a grueling 16-hour double shift. He is absolutely exhausted, wiped out. And in just one moment, with one single action, he makes a mistake. A big one. $1 million mistake. The damage is done. It's a catastrophe. So here's the big question. He made the error. The consequences are massive. Should he be fired? I mean, for a lot of people, for the company, the gut reaction is a hard yes. But just hold that thought for a second. You see, this exact moment, Frank's situation, this is a fork in the road that companies face every single day. And the path they take, well, it says everything about how they see failure and how much they actually value their people. The easy answer, the one that almost always ends up in the incident report, is to just call it what it is: human error. It's convenient, isn't it? It's a neat, tidy little box. Frank messed up. Case closed. But this, right here, is where the real digging should start. This easy answer, it actually has a name. It's called the bad apple theory. And the thinking goes something like this. Our systems are pretty much safe. And the real danger comes from those unpredictable, unreliable people working inside of them. Now check this out, because this table really puts the whole debate into perspective. The old view, that bad apple idea, it's always asking who is responsible. It sees human error as the cause of the problem. So the solution is simple, right? Get rid of bad apple. But the new view, it flips that script completely. It asks what is responsible. It says human error isn't the cause, it's a symptom of deeper problems. So the goal isn't to fire the person, it's to fix the system that set them up to fail in the first place. And this old view is, well, it's really old. Listen to this quote. It's from 1933. This idea of the accident-prone worker, the guy who's just clumsy or unlucky, we've been using that to explain away failures for almost 100 years. It's a prejudice that's just baked into how we think. So, if you believe people are the problem, what do? Well, you try to control them. You put up posters that say, be more careful. You run these big safety campaigns. You punish people. But as safety scientist Sidney Dekker points out, there is basically zero evidence that any of that stuff actually works. To find a better way, we have to do something kind of radical. We have to stop looking at the failure from the outside, with our perfect 20/20 hindsight. We have to get inside what they call the operator's tunnel and see the world from their point of view in that moment. And once you're inside that tunnel, the most important question completely changes. It's no longer, who did this? It becomes, why did this make sense to them at the time? That is the question that unlocks real learning. So let's go back into Frank's tunnel. What was really going on? Well, he was at the end of a 16-hour shift. Management was pushing like crazy to meet production quotas. The machine he was using, it had a known problem that people had reported, but nobody ever fixed. The official procedure for his task was confusing and out of date. He was stuck in that classic trap, be fast and efficient, but also be slow and careful. And to top it all off, the lighting was terrible. See, Frank didn't make his mistake in a vacuum. He made it in a system that was practically begging for something to go wrong. This brings us to a really key idea, the local rationality principle. All it really says is that people's actions aren't random or dumb. They're logical, based on their goals, what they know, and what they're focused on in that exact moment. What Frank did made sense to him, inside his tunnel. So here's the bottom line. Human error is never the full story. It's not the cause of failure. It's a symptom. It's a giant, flashing red light telling us we need to look deeper into the system itself. And this quote just hits the nail on the head. Calling something human error is a judgment we make after we already know the bad outcome. We have the luxury of hindsight, something the person in the thick of it never had. It's a label that actually stops us from asking more important questions. So why do organizations love this label so much? Because honestly, Blaming an individual is easy. It's cheap. It lets the organization say, look, we found the problem, we got rid of them, and now everything is safe. It protects them from having to look at much deeper, much messier, and way more expensive problems in their own systems. So if the old view is just a dead end, what does the new view actually look like? Well, it's all about shifting the focus from trying to fix the person to fixing the world they work in. A better investigation starts by asking what, not who. It gets into the messy, complicated details of the job to understand the pressures and choices people are making every single day. And it completely redefines accountability. It's not about punishing someone for what they did in the past. It's forward-looking. It's a shared mission to learn from what happened so we can stop it from happening again.
So let's go back to Frank one last time. Firing him feels like a solution, but it's not. Firing Frank does absolutely nothing to fix the 16-hour shifts, the production pressure, the broken equipment, or the bad procedures. The trap is still there, just waiting for the next good worker to fall right into it.
And this is what true accountability looks like. It's not about finding someone to blame. It's about the organization taking on the responsibility to build a workplace where good, smart people like Frank are set up to succeed, not fail. That's the real foundation of a just culture. So I'll just leave you with this thought. The next time something goes wrong, at your job or even just something you see in the news, resist that powerful, easy urge to hunt for the bad apple. Instead, ask yourself, what's going on in the orchard? What were all the pressures that made this so-called error almost inevitable? Because that is the question that leads to real, lasting change.